All right, so questions, we'll kind of go section by section, and then I'll talk about the inverses at the end. But any questions on 7.5? So remember that the odd answers are on Calc Chat, and the evens I posted the picture of. Everybody good on 7.5? Yeah, adding, subtracting, multiplying, scalar. How about 7.6, inverse? So these are the inverses of the 2 by 2. Okay, number 127 actually said to show that it's the inverse, so you won't have a question that specifically just says show it, but obviously this is kind of reminding you that you can check your answers. So if you do have extra time, there's lots of things that you can check to make sure are right. One is the inverses. If I multiply a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2 of the inverse, I should get the pattern 1, 0, 0, 1. So if I did A times B and then B times A, I should get that for both. Okay, same for the 3 by 3. For a 3 by 3, I should get 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. Questions on any of that? On the 2 by 2, so that's the one over the determinant? Okay. How about 7.7 was the start of the determinant for just the 2 by 2. Again, I said it yesterday, but remember, I'm not going to give you won't see a question that just says find the determinant. But you have to use it. The 2 by 2, you'll use it in Cramer's rule. The 2 by 2, you'll use it in the inverse. And then the 3 by 3, you'll also use it in Cramer's rule, area, and collinear. So you'll use it 3 times. Area, collinear, or Cramer's rule. Any questions there? I told you also yesterday, but keep in mind that the 3 by 3 inverse should end in whole numbers. Not necessarily the way you get there, but the end should be whole numbers. And the 3 by 3 Cramer's rule should end in whole numbers. All right, and then the last questions, any there for the Cramer's rule? These are the ones you can check. So anything that's solving a system, once you get your answer, you could take it, plug it back in, and make sure it works. The question came up yesterday. Okay, so let's say I'm doing 181. -2, 3, -5, -11, 4, -1, z, -3, -x, -4. Oh, not on these, but on the inverse. Okay, so let's just picture that we only have a 3 by 3. Why did I write x? So in a different class, the question came, can I switch this before I make the lines for the ones and the zeros? And the answer is no. Was that here? Yeah, it was you. Okay. You have to put this first and then switch it. So if I wanted to switch these rows, you have to make sure that obviously you're going to change the sign, but you also want to make sure that that row goes with it. Then after school told me somebody, and they're like, wait, does that change what I want the outcome to be? Does that mean that the outcome still needs to be this switch? Like if I switch those 2 rows, then the top row becomes this. And is that what I'm aiming my outcome to be? And the answer is no. You always want your outcome to be the original 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. Okay, so it doesn't change what your goal is, even if you switch the rows. But you do have to add those 1s and 0s on before you switch the rows. Okay, any questions on the inverse ones?
All right, it's a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2, right?
Different dimensions, so it can be done, right? The first one is a 3 by 2, the second one is a 2 by 3.
Okay, the 5 times 0 cancels out.
We just said, right?
6 is -18, 2 times 3 is 6.
You just saw, right? Remember, it's the new row.
Plus 6 means that first
so
one
that's
was a
one row.
-12.
That would have been the 9, 3. That's the yellow. Okay, I'm assuming that's what it is.
Why can't you do it?
Okay, so the determinant is 0, which is an answer if it's just determinant.
Right,
But if
you
you're trying to
would
find an inverse,
distribute
you put
the
that
5 in.
under
Again,
1,
I'm
right?
assuming it's
You can't put 0
mistake,
under 1,
right?
it's undefined, so there's
But
no
distribute
inverse.
that 5 in, so the dimensions on that answer should be the same.
If you think about it, there'd be no way to get 0, 0 to be 1, 0. Like you can't.
A lot of
against
deer.
number- Yeah, totally. Genius chicken. Right? That's you guys. Divide by 2 at the end, right? So it's 1/2. What you get for the determinant? 1/2 or divide by 2. Okay, these are the questions that were missed the most on the Kahoot. So this one is a multiplication. This first matrix is a 3 by 2, and the second's a 2 by 2, so it can be done because the middle numbers match. And the result is the outer 2, which is a 3 by 2. So 1, 2, 3 rows, 2 columns. So this first one is row 1, column 1, row 1, column 1, which would be 0 times 4, or 0, plus 2, negative 2 times 2, which is negative 4, and that's negative 4. Then row 1, column 2, row 1, column 2, would be 0 times 3, plus negative 2 times 3, which is negative 6. Then we go row 2, column 1, row 2, column 1, and that's 20 plus 2, or 22. We go row 2, column 2, row 2, column 2, 15 plus 3, that's 18. Then we go row 3, column 1, row 3, column 1, that's negative 8 plus 4, negative 4. And we go row 3, column 2, row 3, column 2, negative 6 plus 6, which is 0. So the product here is negative 4, negative 6, 22, 18, negative 4, and 0. This one is also multiplication. This is a 2 by 2 and a 2 by 2. Can be done, and the result is a 2 by 2. So row 1, column 1, row 1, column 1, negative 4 plus the negative 4, which is negative 8. Row 1, column 2, row 1, column 2, 4 minus 8, which is negative 4. Then row 2, column 1, row 2, column 1, 0 plus 6, which is 6. And row 2, column 2, row 2, column 2, 0 plus 12, which is 12. So it would be 0 plus negative 6 times negative 2, which is why it's positive 12. So negative 8, negative 4, 6, and 12. And this one is the determinant. So we're going to duplicate the columns to the right, 0, 5, negative 4, negative 2, negative 3, 3, and multiply down these first. So 0 times negative 3 times negative 1 is 0. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Negative 5 times positive 5 is negative 25 times 3 is negative 75. And I get negative 83. Then I want to go back the other way. So I get negative 5. This is 15 times 4, which is negative 60. This is 0. This is negative 10 times negative 1, positive 10, and that's negative 50. And I do negative 83 minus a negative 50, which becomes negative 83 plus 50, or negative 33. Okay, don't forget your calculators for tomorrow's test. Make sure you study, use the extra review on the test assignment to help you out, and good luck.